Hello, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to take a few minutes to jump on here and kind of follow up my last video where I was just so frustrated. When I find myself getting that way, and it happens a lot more than I like for it to, for sure. I'm really starting to be able to get into a place, though, that I recognize, how I'm feeling. And instead of just getting so overwhelmed by the frustration that I do things to make it worse and cause more problems, I really learned to slow it down and go, okay, this is stupid and I don't like it and I'm not happy and I'm frustrated and I'm whatever I am, overwhelmed. What do I need to do right now? And I'm going to give you a really good example from my trip, and I've got a lot of them, but this one I think was my favorite because I know exactly what I would have normally done, and I really was able to just take a deep breath and go, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's slow down, calm down, and come up with an alternative. And so, as I often do anytime I travel, I end up lost. I don't care. If you give me a GPS, I don't care. You could send the man who invented the map with me. I am going to find a way to go in the wrong direction. I'm just going to. So in this particular incident, I passed my turn, and my wonderfully helpful GPS, instead of telling me I passed my turn, just reroutes me down a road that looks like a four-wheeling trail. I have no alternative as far as I know at this point, because the road in the direction I was going is completely closed down. So it's either go this way or turn completely around, and I've already sort of committed to this four-wheeling trail. Now I can see the main road. It's probably about a half a mile down this little trail that I'm being provided, and I can see the main road where I want to be. So that encouraged me, and so I start down this road, and suddenly there is a mud puddle about 4 foot wide by 6 foot wide, and it just doesn't look like this is a good idea to go through this in my little Toyota Camry. But I'm already frustrated because I need to be early. I still need to deal with parking. I still have an hour and a half drive ahead of me. And I just want to go through the mud puddle, because right on the other side of this mud puddle is the road. But I don't know how deep this mud puddle is. And you know that. Turn around, don't drown. And, I sat there for a minute, just frustrated. And it wasn't even a whole minute. It was probably less than 30 seconds. And I had this scenario play out in my head where we are door deep in this mud puddle, and spending the rest of the day waiting for the roadside assistance to come pull our rental car out. And that's pretty much going to ruin the whole experience. We're not any longer worried about technology or why we can't get our tickets. We are now worried about how to get home, because we've destroyed our rental car. And so I took a deep breath, and I hate driving backwards. It is like not my favorite thing. And that's because in my 20s, anytime the car went in reverse, it hit something. Guaranteed. So I took a deep breath and I threw it in reverse, and I very slowly and patiently backed down about a half a mile road. And I was very surprised at how well I did. I'm so unaware of the skills that I've been building over the last several years, but I haven't had my own car before here just in the last couple of weeks for almost 3 years. And so I have been driving a variety of vehicles, including our work vehicles, which are sometimes, small Penskes, and I've gotten really good at driving. And so I just backed up and I went back to where I knew I was. And of course, the GPS suddenly starts dinging and resetting itself, and it puts us on the right path, and everything is perfectly fine. If I had not taken the time before this trip to process the frustrations that I was feeling, if I had not been present when the directions that I thought that I was going to follow came back telling me that the roads were closed and that I couldn't go that way, and that I had to go down a windy backcountry road for 4.5 hours to get to my destination, which made me a little nervous. There are just so many things. I could go on and on and on and on and on about the things that I could have overreacted to, the things that I could have fallen apart about. And had I not been able to process ahead of time, had I not been able to pause for a moment before I let my emotions take over me, if I had not been able to talk to myself about it and say, you know what, this is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're going to take our time. We're going to be patient. We're going to be present. And it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. Normally, the voice in my head is going, are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. It's the fucking, it's the voice of the video that I did the other day. I think it was my What the Fuck Brain video. It's just everything feels like it's falling apart because that's where my focus is. And so then I do crazy shit because I'm aggravated and overwhelmed and overstimulated, and I just want to get it figured out. And I drive through a 4-foot mud puddle and end up screwed. And this was a huge victory for me because that mud puddle was just one of probably 100 things that I could have done to just truly fuck this trip up. And I didn't do them. And I had a wonderful experience. And I listened to my body, and I rested when I could, and I found quiet, and I did the things that I needed to do to put myself first, and I was able to be present when I needed to be with the people around me, and I was able to enjoy the experience with my daughter and the experience of the concert. And even the drives were beautiful. That country road that I was so worried about taking, it was a little edgy for a couple of times there, but ultimately it was such a beautiful drive, and it was just so laid back and just so everything I could have asked for it to be. And when my daughter was 4, I ruined Disney World because I did all the things that you shouldn't do that cause more problems because I was so triggered and so overwhelmed and just wanted to get to the other side of the thing. And in forcing it and in not taking my time, I had a million meltdowns, and God love the poor people who had to be around me while I was going through these things. And when will things change? When you do. And I have been looking for answers and trying to figure this out for the better part of 25 years. And I'm going to tell you, just being able to slow down for a second, just for a second, and take a deep breath and go, what is this about? What is this about? What am I going to do? How am I reacting? Is that helpful? What is the best case scenario? What is the worst case scenario? Okay, here's the action plan. And you just work with it. It's not magic. But God dang it, it feels like it after so many years of just making everything so damn hard by getting frustrated and overreacting and trying to push through and force things, and instead of just slowing down and being present, responding instead of reacting, using discernment instead of judgment, acknowledging how I'm feeling. In that moment, I wanted to go through that mud puddle because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated and I'm overwhelmed and I just want to get the thing done. But I'm not going to do it that way. It's not going to help to do it that way. It's not worth the chance. It's definitely worth taking the extra 5 minutes to take a breath, back up, and go back to where you started so that you know what direction you want to head in, and you know that you're safe in doing that. I am so grateful for this space, and I really hope that just not necessarily what I'm going through, but some of the tools that I'm using and the steps that I'm applying and the results that I'm seeing, I hope that those things can be helpful to you and to encourage you to start to slow down. If you have questions, if there's somewhere that you're like, okay, well, yeah, I hear you, but, send me a comment, jump on Facebook and send me a private message to Crystal Clarity. Reach out, get in touch. I would love to help you see this more clearly for yourself. I believe firmly that we are all on our own journey, but we are definitely here to walk each other home, and that it's, by sharing our own experience when our roads meet, that we give each other the encouragement and, the information and the wisdom and the love and the exchange that keeps us going and keeps us focused. And so I wish you all the best, and I look forward to next time. Namaste.